Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Ben the Human Plays IXION. Oops! The moon blew up last time. Spoilers. Yeah, we warped through whatever hyperspace and blew up the moon in the process, and now we don't know what's happening. So, we need to resolve the event, the ghost of the Urshanabi on the planet system map. That's over here. We need to feed 1,000 crew members, and then we need to find an asteroid with iron deposits. We also need to build a mining ship, because we don't even have one of those yet. Do I have enough polymer to do so? Not even close. So before we do that, let's get set up with more food here. Right now we are producing 3. We need more, because we're eating 4 per cycle right now. So we need to get some more food going here. Not mess hall. I'm trying to see how would this fit best. So if you did 3 across, you could fit 3 across all the way over here. Problem is we're sealing ourselves off from this thing over here, so we can't really do it that way. We could stack them up here. You get 3 over there, but then you'd have a couple rows that are not super valuable. Maybe we just start going this way. There's 3 of them that way. We don't have a lot of alloys, so, and we have 2 events on the ship. So let's take a look at these real quick. Administrator, you may have noticed that the moon is broken apart. The crew are aware of this, and many rumors are spreading throughout the station. You will have to make an official statement. I don't think we want to say it's our fault. That's a bad way to that's a bad way to like try and raise morale. I think we go for the it was somebody else's fault moment. Something must have happened during the test jump. Being such a high profile event, it was the perfect opportunity for DOLOS' enemies to strike and sabotage our plans.
Trust in your leadership is
Moon oddity. Our trust has fallen by 5%. The crew are asking a lot of questions about the state of the Earth. Munchie behavioral algorithms predict a decrease in productivity of 22% if those questions go unanswered. As administrator of the Tiqqun station, you should find some answers quickly. We will send an expedition to Earth. Let us do that now. Let's take the Focult. Off you go. So we need a science ship for the Urshanabi as well. I kind of think we should probably stack, well, we need alloys first, but we should probably stack another space. We should stack another docking bay in here if we can. We can if we get rid of this road, which I will do, because this road is doing nothing. It's decorative. Other than that, so what has happened is we have teleported to the future. And the hull now, due to problems going on in the hull, due to the rough nature of the journey, our hull is depleting. It's like broken slightly. So we've got -20 balance on our hull per cycle. We have -8 from open sectors. So every time we jump, the hull integrity starts depleting more rapidly. And, every sector you open also makes your hull deplete more rapidly as well. The EVA airlock is key to that, is you can turn it on and we will repair 29 hull points per cycle. It's running at 50% efficiency. The lower the hull integrity is, the faster your people repair. And basically it's because the hull is so full of holes at some point, like it's not hard to find the leaks. Is like your hull is made of Swiss cheese, so they're like, oh yeah, there's a leak, go fix it. Whereas like when you're at high integrity, it's harder to find the little pinhole leaks or whatever. That's how they explain it anyway. Right now we're not repairing the leak because we don't have a lot of alloys, so we're gonna hold on to the alloys we have right now. We have some integrity to play with, so we don't need to do anything with it right now. Let's check in with our science ship. That looks rough. Summary of Earth data. No signals have been received from Earth. The oceans have evaporated and the surface temperature has risen significantly since the Tiqqun was last in orbit. Atmospheric readings indicate the presence of strong dust storms and dangerously high levels of carbon dioxide, radiation, and microplastics. The blue planet will never again deserve its name. Well, we will start with the old DOLOS headquarters, since it's the one that we can finish the fastest. And we should send out a probe, because we need to find an asteroid with iron deposits. Aha! We've found a story beat. Oh, there's an asteroid. Resource medium, resource high. Is there a better asteroid out here? Oh, there's another event. Usually the events are planets, but sometimes they're like other ships and such. Oh, that looks pretty good. Lots of carbon, lots of iron and a little water. Let's fire it off that way. And it's fairly close, so we could start mining it pretty quickly if we get some plastics. Back inside. You guys are working on this stuff. Do we have enough workers? How many people are working? What do I tell? I forget. Population management? 199. Ah, we need 118, so we got plenty of extra workers to start making more farms. Insect farms take 8 people to run. That's plenty of time. Or people, I should say. What's going on over here? Ah, yes, the full cult is at Earth. I'm well aware.
A probe has completed its scan.
And that's what probes do. So you can see how it identified a couple of asteroids made of iron over here. It has one made out of ice as well. And our science ship is almost done.
A science ship team has
Ta-da!
completed a task.
The converted oil rig, which DOLOS used as its state-of-the-art headquarters, is gone. Only a few metal scraps remain, scattered across an expanse of dusty, cracked earth. There is no sign of survivors. Investigate the listening protocol, please. And then we will fire up the old void vector. Oh, he's already on it. Good job, void vector. Lower the priority of those things. So he's going to start bringing back alloys, which is great because we need more of those to even start building any of these things. I would like to build another docking bay. We have plenty of power to do so, and we have the space to do so. All integrity's doing fine. Made another probe, so we should fire this guy off. We have enough polymers for 2 more probes. Alright, where do we want to send you? There's a good one. The other thing is, once we get iron, we'll want to start refining it at some point. But we'll need a place to store it first. That's a pretty good spot. Maybe we want some of these story beats, though. Although we need to check out the Urshanabi first. Why don't we go there? I like the asteroid belt item that was out there. Alright, we're getting more alloys. How's our insect farming going? 2.8 per cycle. It's risen to 4.2 consumed per cycle. We need more food, please. I think we'll wait and see how this balances out for a bit after these other 3 come online. But I don't think there's enough. We could start putting stuff over here. We can't put them in here because they're not big enough. It's not big enough space, I don't think. Yeah, it's a little too long. We could do it like this, but that's pretty inefficient space-wise. So I think we'll just smash 2 more in here and then call it good. And hopefully that'll balance our food requirements out. Well, that's pretty good right there. This is a tiny little corridor that I wish I could do something better with.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Summary of intelligence on the administrator's home. A huge crevasse cuts through the ground where your home once stood. There is no trace of civilization. We got science, alloys, and electronics. And then we will scour the globe in search of survivors. Something tells me there's not going to be any. Spoilers. The Earth looks pretty devastated. We found something in the asteroid belt. Don't you worry, we'll get another... Basically, I'm planning on getting 2 science ships, 3 transport ships, and a mining ship for now. But we need to get our hands on more polymers to make that work. How we doing on food? Still a little light. How many do you take? You take 12. Alright, we're getting closer to our limit, but I think we can definitely still do 2 more insect farms here. Alright, we do have some science. Is there something we could do with you? No? 45. Can't research any of this stuff. 45. Alright, well, we'll just have to wait until... I'm kind of thinking, while we have the opportunity, maybe I should move the science building. You know? Because, like, I'm not really thrilled with where I put it. It should have been over 1 without this road there. I should have gotten rid of the road. But B, we're not really generating science right now. So let's get rid of it real quick. And then rebuild it. We have the time right now. While we're waiting for our science ship to collect more science. Obviously, you don't want to have to rebuild things if you don't need them. Or if you don't need to. It's more efficient not to. But you should also not be afraid to move stuff in this game. If in the long term, it's going to be better, like a little more efficient to allow you to move, or if you move something, it'll just be better in the long run. So I'm going to bite the bullet and do that. I'm kind of thinking probably over here would be good for it. Just tucked away in the corner, and then we never have to move it again. And then we can do whatever we want with this space over here. Still bringing in the alloys. There we go. Done. All right. Okay. Will not fit over there. So, I could put it here, but I'm not super thrilled with that either. It won't fit there, and it won't fit there. So, I think the best option for us is to move it over 1. Where do we put it over here? Like, here's not a terrible idea. Because it still gives us it takes away a little space on this side. Or it's a little unused space on that side. But you do end up with some unused space every once in a while. The other thing is here is fine, but I don't know if I can make use of a long 3x3 like that. Or a 3 wide corridor. Because most buildings need access to the road, right? And like a 3x building is a habitat. That's a good example of a 3x building. But you have to be touching the road, so if I tried to build 2 of these back here, they wouldn't be touching and then they couldn't be accessed. There is a wider building, like a house building that could fit back in there. That might be an okay place for it. Alright, I think that's the best option available to us right now. Is shift the science. It's a lot of... It might seem like a lot to do this all at once. But I think it's worth moving it over 1 to get access to a better space there. And it's right across from our alloys reservoir, so it should get built back up pretty fast. And the science ship is still working on it. I think once it's done with its scan here, we should have access to more polymers, and then we can build more ships. Alright, we're at positive food, and we still have 2 things that are coming online, so that's good. After a long search, we found nothing but rubble. We've seen no signs of life, not even a corpse. The lunaclism seems to have caused a series of events that precipitated the collapse of thermo-industrial civilization. The Earth has become a toxic and arid wasteland scoured by harsh winds, now more inhospitable than Mars. The only remnant of civilization we found was a fallen stele where the city of Washington once stood. Stuck in a crevasse, it has been sheltered from the wind. A prayer imploring divine forgiveness was engraved in gold on its surface. All right.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Everybody's pretty mad, I bet. Mission reports from the expedition. Look at this person's room. Oh, mission reports from the expedition to Earth are being discussed among the crew. The thought of having lost all loved ones behind having lost all loved ones left behind has destroyed morale for many of them. The symptoms of this trauma have now been collated under the medical designation as dead Earth sickness. We get -1 stability permanent. It's not great. So the two loss conditions for IXION. Your hull reaches 0, the ship just breaks apart. The second loss condition, you lose trust in the entire crew, and they overthrow you and you die. That is don't ever let your trust hit 0, don't ever let your hull hit 0. Those are the two cardinal sins. So our science ship is going to collect all the science. We don't want to move it off of the Earth until then. This guy's gonna spend time gathering the alloys, but we would like to swap that with the polymers, and the reason for that being is if we swap the polymers up here, we can start building other ships to go gather resources faster. So let's bring polymers back. Administrator, to safeguard humanity, we must find survivors and increase the station's population. We do not have time to go through the classic reproductive cycle of your species. We don't have years to do this. Adding new members to the Tiqqun's crew will have a positive impact on morale. Cryonic stasis, a practice engineered by DOLOS, was in growing use even before we left the solar system. There's a high likelihood that the cryonic pods containing survivors await discovery. Let us find and collect 500 pods. That is an important part of our mission. Cryonic centers. We will get there eventually. Oh, we have stuff to research now. Okay. How do we want to start? I'm kind of thinking... Battery is useful eventually, but right now I don't think we need battery. Basically, battery is good for when you're powering up your Vol engine. It keeps the ship from collapsing while you're charging the engine. I forget what I always picked first when I played this game before. I feel like it was Steel Mill, but I can't remember. I mean, Steel Mill is important. We might as well get started on Steel Mill, even if I don't build it right away. Basically, it'll be important as we start mining. But going forward, I want to start figuring out where to place our next storage units here. That's not bad. Once again, it blocks our path, though, and we don't want to do that to both of them, otherwise we can't access this sector. So what if we do... What if we go over here? Nah, that won't work either. You could put them side to side, and then here and here, but what would they supply? And then they'd be blocking off the farms. This is tricky. We could do them back to front. Here's not terrible. I think to solidify this here, I'm gonna build these roads in, just to make it obvious. But what we could do is we could put a storage thing here, and then you can fit a house in that corner. And it's not perfect, but it's better than a lot of wasted space. Over here is a little trickier. Could do them back to back. But then again, we have this funny little 2x corridor down the middle, which is really bad. 2x is not very useful for anything. All integrity is doing a little lower now. What would we be up to? We're at 69% efficiency. I kind of don't mind letting it drop down pretty far. Especially because the ship starts yelling at you when it gets really low, so you can't really forget. Alright, still collecting science, still collecting all the resources. But we have polymers now, so let's go ahead and build ourselves another cargo ship. And then we will finally build our mining ship, second science ship, third cargo ship. So we got... I think we have enough polymer for all of those things. I believe. Power is doing fine. Why don't we get you both stacked up here? I think it's worthwhile to do. How are we doing on resources out in the solar system? Still a lot of alloys to collect. We have gotten all the polymer though, so that's something. And we're working on the next ship. It's always fun seeing what the next ship is going to be called. I don't like changing the name. I kind of like just using the names they give them. It feels rude to like pull them out of the fiction that just like is ambient in the game. All right, we fed 398. How's our food? Our food is going up dramatically. So we actually could think about shutting you down. Basically, the problem would be is if we start producing too much extra food, our storage is overrun, which isn't the worst thing, but it's just inefficient. So we'll move our people to from these two guys over to these storage locations. We have a mining drill. Let's go out to the solar system. And we will tell this guy, start mining iron, and then you can mine water in your spare time. Alright, we send the probe further afield. Let's look for things that are relatively close to the ship, so our other ships don't have to travel as far. There. And there. Okay, we'll send one there, and then we'll send a second probe over here. Oh, you're done, Focult? I think the Focult is done. So let's send it to the Urshanabi. Do we have a second ship? The Grail! That's a cool name. I dig it. We're gonna start by collecting all of the alloy. And it actually does matter where you assign your ships to. So we have these 3 ships assigned to this docking bay. If the ships ever need to repair, and especially for the cargo ships, they need to dock in one of the bays to drop off their stuff. So if you have multiple cargo ships like we do, you want to try and spread them out over your docking bays so they can all access the ship at the same time. It also matters more if once we get into multiple districts, if you have a docking bay in District 1, they will only offload materials into Sector 1. So if we have like a factory district where it's important that we get iron to, we probably want to build a cargo bay directly in that district so we can drop the iron off directly there. Otherwise, you spend time dropping it off in a different district and then moving it to the other district, and it's just kind of inefficient. Let's check in on the Urshanabi. That doesn't look good. Holy God! Got ripped in half! Our sensors have detected the Urshanabi. The ship is broken in 2. My God, he is broken in half. And is not transmitting any signals. The phrase, "whoever helps Dolos is an enemy of humanity," has been dubbed in large letters on the wreck of the Urshanabi. Mummified bodies have been attached to its hull. Yikes. Gather all the resources. How are we doing? I think this is our next science ship here. The name of our mining ship is Abdominals? That's the weirdest name I've ever encountered in this game. Abdominals. It's named after a muscle group. That's so weird. I dig it though. It's so strange. Like I'm imagining the meeting in which they christened this ship specifically, and they're like, all right, what do we call our first mining ship? And the guys are like, no bad answers. And then the guy's like, abdominals, and everybody just looks at him deadpan. All right, we've built the steel, or we've researched the steel mill. So the next step, I think we want to get memorials. Memorials and stability is really important for the game. Are we not on tier 2? Oh, you're all tier 1. Okay, so we haven't unlocked tier 2 yet at all. So I don't think anything is available to upgrade yet. Yeah, I don't think so. Some of these are even tier 3. Okay. I guess Cryonic Center is also kind of important. These will also be pretty important too. I guess we'll just like research everything. And then we'll queue up Polymer Refinery, Post Memorial, or Cryonic Center, sorry. Ideally, before we leave the solar system, we'll have all of these things researched anyway. The Seagull! That's a good name. To Venus. Off you go. And there goes our other probe.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Good job, Foucault. That was pretty quick. The ship was full of food. I hope the expiration date hasn't passed. Everything is ready for extraction. Good job, guys. No science there. So we will send you guys over to the asteroid belt here. Try to be as relatively efficient as possible. And then what we can do, because we found some food, is we should add food as like a lower priority. So we want to get the electronics and the alloys off the Earth. Iron is probably... I'm going to leave that off of the sourcing list, for lack of a better term. Debris field. All right. Because I don't want to have to store raw iron until I'm ready to actually refine the dang stuff. Don't move the Tiqqun. That is a bad idea. I think movement also reduces your hull integrity. I can't remember exactly. We've almost maxed out our alloy. How's our food production? We're still kind of high on food production. I went overboard. Okay. We could start utilizing some of the alloys because we're gonna run into the situation where we're overstocked. But for now, why don't we store it in this third thing? We could build a steel mill. We have the electronics and we definitely have the alloys.
Has arrived at its destination.
Balls is too big. Oh, you know what we do though? Oh no, that blocks that one off too. Well, well, well. We don't have a great place for you to be. Here wouldn't be so bad if I hadn't built another dock right there. The other thing is we could start moving our population. And that's not a terrible idea either. I kind of think that's a good idea. Like, move your population. How would we tessellate our population center if we decided to do it over here? You could do... Actually, this is really good. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Awaits your attention.
1, 2, 3, 4. And then you run a single road next to it, like this. Here. It's a little redundant with the second road here, but this allows you to build another stack of houses right here. So that's 12 houses. That means we could move like almost the entire population center out of this side of the building. So I think we'll do that. We have a crap ton of alloys. Hello? What? Sector 1 has almost reached its maximum structural load, with more infrastructure surely needed soon. A new sector will need to be unlocked. Originally, sectors were programmed to automatically unlock after completion of the mission to Proxima Centauri. With the change of the Tiqqun's mission objective, this restriction could be bypassed by manually overriding the gateway lock algorithms. I don't really want to jump the gun that quickly. I want to pause on this. You don't want to accept missions that you think you'll fail because it'll make people upset. Venus. Probe data has revealed mining and industrial infrastructure below the surface of Venus. According to reports from the exploration team, the subterranean site consists of mining infrastructure and a large assembly line. Many embalmed bodies were found in the area. The line seems to have been originally used to fabricate solar sails. The Tiqqun engineers suggest that with minor repairs, it could be restored. Let's do that. And then we'll assign the Hringhorny. What a name! I've gotten some wild names this playthrough. The Hringhorny. That sounds like something Nordic. And that's a new ship, so we'll just let that one, you know, deliver stuff. But then we'll...
Hull integrity below 50%.
Remember what I told you about them yelling at me when the ship is in dire need of repair?
Ship has arrived at its destination.
Quick. The DOLOS, enemy of mankind. We have detected a signal broadcasting on a DOLOS frequency. It originates from a mineral extraction station named the Stanford Facility. We theorize that the Stanford facility will contain many materials useful to the Tiqqun and its crew. However, in order to recover them, we will need to dismantle elements of the structure to gain entrance. A control center has been identified, but it was sealed off by a shutter with a UN emblem stenciled over it. A message has been written beneath the emblem in an unknown language. We've no idea what it says, but it is accompanied by a helical-shaped symbol. Dismantle the facility. All right, and based on that, we will send out our probe real quick to this other zone here. And then we will pause the episode there. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, click the like button. It helps me out a lot. If you want to see more episodes of IXION or the other videos I have going on the channel, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you have your notifications on so you know when the next videos go live. But until next time, everybody, I hope you had a good one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, everybody.